Open the meeting at 7:07. Open session public meetings are subject to being recorded, not videotaped, crossed out. Your image and voice may be recorded. Hi, everyone. This was in the mailbox also.
Okay.
I'm not sure which Dillis and Roy project that is, so. Yeah. Leanne has offered to check to verify our green slips from now on.
Okay.
I don't really know we're supposed to even do that. So when we have any hearings that need to notify abutters, they need to have all of the stuff to Leanne by like noon on Monday of the week that we have our hearing,
Okay.
so that she has a couple of days to check everything.
So are those green slips for something tonight?
No, I think it was just
Yeah, this was for the ANRAD.
for the NRAD.
Yep.
Okay. So, just in
Right.
a straggler. Okay. Let's approve the minutes of the prior meeting. Everybody see them and read them?
Yes.
I did.
I did.
Any conversation about it? If not, I'll take a motion.
I motion to accept the meeting minutes from the previous meeting.
Which was June,
May.
No,
May something.
23rd, 24th.
23rd, I think.
23rd.
23rd, all right.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Excellent.
Is Walter not coming tonight?
Walter said he was coming, but he also said that he was meeting Bob Duran for dinner.
Oh,
And we
okay.
all know how those, I don't know that we actually want him to come, because he tends to.
We're being recorded.
Yeah. So, if he shows, I'll be surprised. Treasurer's report.
Okay, wetlands, we have, this is as of March 31st. So for the wetlands account, we have $11,593.72. For open space, we have $284,308.98.
How many cents?
98. And then in the budget account, we have $462.18.
52, and
Right.
I didn't have it cents.
18.
Out of which we have now spent.
Yeah,
Like-
so we've got, hold on a second,
No, that can wait.
so of those, that's 362.84. Because we're gonna take the Bedrock Farms one out of the donation account,
Right,
so the other three are coming out of,
right. And the donation
Budget.
account has 3,500.
I thought it was 3,000.
We had 3,000 and then the 500.
Oh, that's right, yep.
So this can come out of this account.
Okay.
Yep.
We can wait if you want.
Did we get that money from Daniels at all?
Yeah, that's what the
Yep.
500 was. No.
No, that's.
No.
No, that was supposed to be 100.
Highland.
That's
was-
Highland Commons was 500.
Yeah.
Dagnall's was a blow off.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bastards.
Well, I will stop by again.
Okay. Excellent. So, bills and forms. The only thing that I have is a reimbursement for AJ. He picked up the fence posts. Did you bring those?
They're in the garage, that old highway garage.
Okay, so Fred now has everything
Yes,
he needs.
He does.
Perfect. So the bill is for $329.80.
What was that, 329 what?
80. And I will accept a motion to reimburse AJ for that amount.
So motion. Oh, yeah, thank you, please.
Okay, You want, and a second?
Second.
There you go. Thank you, Holly.
Holly seconded?
Yep.
Yep. Any further conversation? Hearing none, I'll ask you to vote.
Aye.
Yeah, all those in
Oh,
favor
yeah,
say,
aye.
sorry.
There you go. Aye.
Yeah. All those opposed? All right.
What was that for again?
The fence posts, the pressure-treated fence posts for the parking lot
Okay.
on Linden Street. Oh, and the motion should include that we're gonna pay it out of the donation fund, donation account. All right. Awesome. And there wasn't really, was there much in the way of emails? The email's been really slow.
Yeah. it was
Oh,
pretty
actually,
quiet.
I have two, but,
Yeah. pretty
Um,
much. So they got the new picnic table.
yep. Good job.
Is it in
Yes,
place?
Peg,
I believe
is it, do you know if it's in place? I
He
know,
said he should have had it in place by last week, so
right,
I'm hoping,
Cool.
yeah.
right.
I guess the question is, are they gonna dispose of the old one, I trust?
Yes, he was gonna pick it up and get rid of the old one since it was clunky and a safety hazard
Yeah.
and replace it with a brand new one.
Awesome. There were two emails that I should mention. So one of them was from, Trisha Concanon. I couldn't come up with her last name. She had noticed somewhere that there was a bait trap of, not even going to be able to say, do you know what it's called?
Yeah, I cannot pronounce it either.
Right. So the kind of rodent aside that is causing problems with birds of prey. So birds of prey, owls, eagles, hawks, they're eating these rodents that eat the poison, and they are then getting poisoned. And
Something about that.
yep. So I emailed, so she got in touch with me to see if maybe there's an alternative that the town could use. So I got in touch with Fred, and he confirmed that the pest control company that the town uses does use this rodenticide, and that they're gonna see if there's an alternative.
You know
that-
what? I found an alternative to get rid of our rats, and it's kind of mean, but it's not going to hurt the birds. It's baking soda, the same equal parts, baking soda, flour, and sugar. You put it down, they die. A terrible death, but it worked for us. That problem is done.
What happens to them?
They explode.
From the inside.
Yeah, like seagulls.
Really?
Yeah.
Not that I know. I've heard.
No,
So sugar and what?
it's baking soda, sugar, and flour. And you just mix it up.
It makes them
And
explode.
you leave it? Well, because
Well,
they can't expel
they
gas,
can't-
so they
Yeah.
kind of, it's a terrible. I saw it happen. I felt so bad, but at least I'm not hurting the other animals.
Right,
Interesting.
right.
Yeah.
So,
Simple.
Okay.
right,
So it's causing problems with,
birds of prey.
Did she find dead birds of prey or something? Or we obviously
No, but
know
it,
it's
it,
connected.
it's,
happen.
right,
Yeah, yeah, no, it's
That's why I'm
connected.
into it for
Yeah.
our rat problem.
I do not believe there's been an incident in Berlin yet, but if there's a safer alternative that we can switch to, so he's gonna look, he's
Use
talking.
Rad-X. But it's not, it does that. It's store-bought. Because we have dogs and stuff.
But, yeah, once more, the pesticides that are ingested end up in the birds.
Right.
Kills not just slowly, it may kill the rodent, but it also will
The
kill
poison or the
birds.
flour sugar thing?
No,
The poison.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the flour
Right.
sugar thing won't hurt the birds.
Yeah, that's what we have to use around
That's
the
what I-
dogs and everything.
Yeah, that's what I've been
But it comes from the
using.
store, it's
Oh,
different.
you bet. I just made it.
Oh, yeah, well, now I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's
Yeah.
cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not coming to your house for biscuits.
No.
Jeez.
What about those
Okay.
electronic things that you stick in the ground? They're supposed to get rid of moles and mice and stuff like that.
That stuff doesn't work.
Hmm?
I've used that. That doesn't work.
It
I
doesn't
don't think
work?
it works. No, and
Right.
I tried that in my house too. You plug it in.
Mm-hmm.
I did the strobing lights, I did the
Yes, we tried all that.
birds of prey noises, the whole
Doesn't work.
thing.
Right. Yeah, so they're going to look into acceptable alternatives.
Cool.
And then the other one was from someone who just is trying to buy at Highland Ridge, and she detailed how problematic it has been not having a closing date. So, wasn't a lot to say back, but that email did come in. And I think that's really been it. The email's been
Yeah.
blessedly quiet for the past couple of weeks.
I think there were 6 units sold, according to the real estate transfers in Sunday's paper. There's 6 of them, and one of them sold for under $200,000. Unless it was a typo. The others
Yeah.
were 5 and 4.
For were those for the
500.
affordable ones?
Hmm?
Were
I
they?
don't think the affordable ones are finished yet.
They finish them last, usually.
Right.
Well, they
Yeah.
can't. They have to finish 50% of them.
Yeah, they have to do
Yeah,
so
by
much
that-
before
by our
they
bylaw.
can
Very
buy.
last thing that gets done, yeah.
Because I thought I heard him mention that he did have one. I don't know. I thought I heard that, but
Right.
whatever.
So, anyway, Maplewood Farms continues to have, I get reports every once in a while of new soil being imported, so they are continuing to fill up there. And you had a copy of Pat's monitoring report?
Yep.
This is the most recent?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he typically sends them out Thursday. Like, I think we'll get one tomorrow for.
Right, probably,
Yep.
yeah. So it looks like the new, what did he call it? The wear box, or existing box wear inlet drilling is being filled. So that, anyway, the work is continuing. It looks like all is well. And we still have 10 minutes before our RDA hearing. So we could skip down to new business.
I want to see some holes.
Can I just ask a question then about
Yeah,
budget stuff?
absolutely.
So, one thing I noticed on this, this one that you just handed me and the one from last month, was there some payroll on the wetlands fund? Is that
Yep.
expected?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep,
All right. I just want to make sure.
yep.
All right. That's all I had.
Cool.
might actually
I
be
know,
changing.
actually,
Yeah, when do I get paid by?
as of today,
Okay.
yes.
How's that gonna work?
Yeah, that I don't know, my
Okay.
dear. That is, yeah, just put in for this week and let June figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it's June 1st, not July 1st?
correct, right? The fiscal year ended yesterday,
Thought it in June 30th.
and it's June. Never mind, I'm
Okay,
a month
we'll have to
off.
figure- Yeah.
I don't know, why was I thinking May? I know.
Listen to your finance.
I know, right? There's a reason I'm not doing it. So, one more month.
All right.
Yeah, so close. So we can skip down to the vote of the land donation from Lettle. Does anybody need a refresher? Oh, you weren't here.
I was absent.
You- So, Gates Pond Road,
Yep.
actually, my house is right here.
Yeah.
So this lot, and then this lot up in Woods. This one's landlocked, this one's all wet.
Tax write-off. Cool.
Well,
Oh, and these are the houses way out back.
Right, so this house, the driveway is over by Murphy's
Yep.
corner. So the driveway comes up,
And around.
access is here, actually comes up like that, and then the frontage is
Is
here.
there. Yeah.
And I think they were at some point hoping that they could do the same with these two lots, but they needed to get
Built that family won't give it up.
correct,
No chance.
exactly. And so everybody who was originally involved in this has now passed, and they just want to get rid of the land, the lots.
How were the lots identified?
First one is lot B3. I don't have, oh, I actually do have a book and page number, I bet. I have the tax stuff here. This one is this. So book and page, well, here, I'll just, page number for that, for B3 is that one. Oh, for B2, and then the other one's B3. B2 is 3.919 acres, and the other one is 1.251 acres.
Okay, can you repeat that? Lot B3 is 3?
B2 is 3.919 acres.
3.919?
Yep. And B2 is 1.251 acres.
12591.
1251.
We already have that one.
Yep. So, and this abuts that, so it's the
This
Lettle.
one?
Yep. This one.
And that's the one with the
and-
house. Or that's another open lot. There's nothing on it.
That one she sold
Oh, to someone
to
else.
someone,
Over here.
yeah,
Multiple owners. That's Rhodes' thing.
yep.
Cool.
So it's
So we have the
that
top of the
lot
mountain.
and that little baby one right there.
Nice.
Yep. And here's the book and page number for the other lot. So I have been to, the selectmen need to approve this, but they wanted us to vote on it first.
I'd like to make a motion to vote on the lots B and lot B2 to be
B2 and B3.
B3, sorry. B3.
I'll second.
Any other conversation? All those, hearing none, I'll ask you to vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right,
You need these back?
sure.
Okay, so
When you're done, yep. And Peg, do you want this?
No,
Okay,
it is on our agenda, so we're good to go.
okay.
So select board has already approved.
They haven't approved, they are aware, but they wanted us to vote on it before they voted on it. Couple more minutes. So I mean, next thing on the agenda is the update. The only update is that we now have all the materials purchased and at the highway department shed.
Great.
So, it's up to Fred now.
Nice.
Oh, and then I guess we still, so, June 16th. So actually, that is another email that we
Yep.
got, yeah. That was like the day after our last meeting, yeah. A neighbor on Buffton Farm Road in Clinton, who backs up to 40 Caves. Grab the map.
Ooh.
So we're talking about land management?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Where am I here? Randall, Mr. Allen Road, Road. So it's not actually even on here.
What's the? I know where it is.
Yeah, so it's in Clinton, so she backs up to a trail that goes into 40 Caves from the Clinton side.
Yep.
And there has been numerous incidences of dirt bikes and ATVs whipping around in there, which we've been trying to curtail that
From our side or their side?
from their side.
There was signage posted, right?
That's not gonna
And
stop the kids on the
she
road.
sent a picture of it burnt.
No way.
Yeah, they took it down
Okay, so
and
isn't that, they could get like in serious trouble for that?
well, sure,
Sure, if Clinton wanted to deal with it.
yes.
Because it's on their side.
It's their side, but our, not ours, but 40 Caves goes right to, and the property line's right there. It's a
Right.
dead end road with an old farmhouse and
Yep.
all the kids ride.
Right. And if they stayed on the private property, that's one thing, but if we've got hikers on our
Well, it's all
property,
torn up, it's four-wheelers, yeah.
not only that, they're buzzing around the corner. Someone
Yeah.
will get hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually. Someone will get hit.
Well, and it's simply
What
not
do we do with
allowed.
all the telephone poles from Fred's fence?
That's a fair enough question, actually.
I might
Getting
want
them in there
them.
might be a bit of an issue. No?
Or
Okay.
We have the
they
means.
post a camera there.
Right. Right, well,
Or camera.
we've talked about that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Do we have to
I
talk to
have
Clinton too?
two wildlife
Did
cameras.
anyone talk to Clinton?
Right,
Put 'em
to
out
just
there.
Oh, do
catch
you?
them in the act.
Yeah.
Okay. Right,
You
so,
can
I
call the
mean,
EPOs too.
right, we've tried.
They
We've
don't care.
had, kinda. I mean, they care in
They killed a
an
bobcat
abstract
though.
way.
So we need to make sure.
Who did?
No, I'm just saying that would get
Oh.
them to do it. They'll get a lot, they'll care a lot more.
So anyway, so June 16th, Dan Stimson from SVT and I are gonna meet the homeowner. Anybody else who wants to come is welcome. If enough of us go, we'll post it as a meeting.
I'll be on my way to
Is
Toulouse.
it, like,
that day.
Good for you.
Have you scheduled the time?
What day?
Yep, it's a Thursday.
Ooh,
It is at 4:30.
Oh, I can't do it. I'm sorry.
I was joking.
Oh, I would have loved to go, but I'm
I'll go.
leaving that afternoon, so I won't
You
be
won't?
around. I won't be around.
Okay.
I'm leaving in the afternoon.
It's a Thursday. I should be able to go, unless it's,
We're gonna be hiking.
Yeah.
It's up to you, but,
We're gonna hike all the way in there?
well, I don't know how far in we're gonna go, but,
Oh.
Are you meeting at the homeowner's land?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
details. I need
Well,
to
we're
know.
meeting at the trailhead on the
Clinton
Clinton side, yeah.
Should we meet with the Clinton cop? Should we call them and see if they wanna come?
Do you know any?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't have any contacts in the Clinton Police
Microphone time.
Department,
Okay, yeah, I can call.
but, okay.
so they're coming in from
Can you
this
go?
person's land into Berlin?
So where the trailhead is, it's a little spur off of the main, so the main kind of horseshoe is all single-family houses, and these are condos.
Right.
And she's in one of those condos, and she sees the people coming and going, and walks the trails. Okay,
June 16th, 4:30.
right, so just you?
No. Oh,
I can't do that.
Right,
yeah, I'll go.
okay. So, just you and me, and if Maddie goes, you're,
I'll call Clinton
Okay.
and see what I can do with Clinton.
I should actually let Eric know to see if he wants to
4:30
join.
p.m. Well,
I can put the
I don't
cameras
know
up
if that
before then.
applies to do.
Do you want- if you wanna-
Somebody would have
Yeah,
to
the
know where they are
police
so they can
chief,
pick them up.
Yeah, they buddies.
Maybe Walter.
Right.
can go.
Or will it be like a
Right.
contest of,
Right, we'll
this
we'll
is
talk.
mine, this is you? So maybe only meet with the Clinton guys, because it's their side.
Right.
But, I mean, if he gets along with them, then can't hurt to,
Right.
you can think of have the Berlin cops hide in the woods, right there. What's that called?
What's
Is
it
it
called?
that street?
Isn't it Bufton Farm Court, I think?
I was just trying to put it in.
I know I put the address in here. So 5, but, here,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Okay,
I'm
so
doing Buffalo
since it's,
Farm Road.
yeah, so it's just, since it's just me and Kyle, we don't have to post it.
Yeah, I think I'll pass.
Okay. We'll let you know how it goes. And we'll talk about cameras before you head to France. All right, now we've made it. We've made it to our time.
Great work.
So, Holly, if I could just get you to swing around.
Okay, is this considered a hearing?
This is considered a hearing for an RDA. Joe?
Did you?
Your son, Joe?
That's my son Nicholas, my oldest.
You put him down.
All right, excellent. So, you print, let's see, she's so good, man.
So actually, I need to print out his,
Application.
yeah.
That's right.
It's pretty much.
Okay, yeah, exactly, okay.
All the same with
Okay, so this is a hearing for a request for determination of applicability for 81 Walnut Street. The applicant is Joseph Monahan, the homeowner, and he would like to remove some rocks, large Berlin rocks, from the front yard, from his front yard to level the area for the kids to play in. There is an old drainage culvert that still carries some water. That's located along the edge of the property and the street. Mike Sawyer is going to be doing the work, and they are going to put up silt fence and wattles so that any disturbance of the soil doesn't get washed into the culvert while the work is happening. Does that sound accurate?
Perfectly.
So now our job is to decide if the work needs an NOI, or if they can go ahead with the work with just an RDA.
I thought we determined last time it was just an RDA, no?
We determined that that was an informal, this is the hearing.
Okay,
So,
all right, so we still have to decide then.
yeah, we have to decide in the hearing.
Was it the left side of your house? If I'm looking at your house from the street, it's the right side corner?
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah, it's like, see those
See
big
the rock?
rocks? Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I took some pictures
Right.
a
Do
couple
you have a
weeks
plan
ago.
to show us?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a plan?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
No, for heaven's sakes. So a couple weeks ago, I met Joe and Mike Sawyer.
I think I saw.
Yeah. So it's these rocks and the drainage ditch is over here.
Mm-hmm. So that's the far triangle corner?
Yeah.
It's dark.
Yes. So Mike's gonna keep all his equipment on the far side of the work area. And we talked about the fact that the parts of the rocks that are showing may not be all of the rock that needs to come out. And so, you know, just about hand, he said they're gonna break them up if they need to. Yeah. Especially that one I would be concerned about.
How much fill you think you're gonna bring in to level it out?
I think it depends on how much he feels he can get out. I mean, there's gonna reach a point where if certain rocks are too big to get out, we'll just leave them alone. It's about just getting the ones out that are reasonable to get out and creating more of a level field for my children to play on.
Would you have to bring in any soil? Just
I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
I would think so.
So you think those are boulders, not ledge? Or you think you're gonna wing it?
Right, so I
think that those ones are.
Right, I think this one might come out.
So that doesn't.
There's also one under all of this,
The growth
it's
thing.
bittersweet or raspberries or something, yeah.
Doesn't really affect anything, does it?
Nope,
The drainage ditch
and-
is
and-
old, so it doesn't. It's just a runoff from across the street.
Yeah, and 80% of it, it essentially starts at my driveway.
right, here.
Oh, so it goes along
And it
your
has-
side
It
down.
has technically 2 feed points. The first feed point closest to the driveway has not run since I've been there.
Right.
We've been there almost 2 years. Now, it does run moving towards, going down Walnut towards the...
Right, it probably a fifth, like
It's probably...
3/4 of the way, 4/5 of the way down the property, yeah.
The active part is probably 20% of the actual ditch. 80% of it hasn't run since we've been there. It's been
Yeah.
bone dry.
Right. And there's no wetland, no reason, like, none of this is wetland.
None of that's wetland.
He's mowing
Right.
it, so yeah, he's not getting stuck in it, so I'd say it's not that
Right.
wet. So we need a motion to approve it, or
so
do we
there are
need
no wetlands
more?
on the property.
So the
Investigation.
the official wording is that we find a negative determination. And a negative determination means that he does not need to file an NOI.
So who's authorized to say negative determination?
If you make a motion,
Oh, no. It's a lot of pressure.
Do you want me to make a motion?
sure.
I'd like to make a motion for a negative NOI for,
No,
no, next.
a negative
negative
determination
determination
of applicability.
of applicability.
A second.
Any further conversation? Hearing none, I'll ask you to vote. All those in favor of a negative determination of applicability, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right, you're all set. So, and this is the form
Thank you.
that we give him, right?
Yep, yep.
All right.
So we can just.
So we can, we're just gonna sign this now.
I can make copies and be all set.
Tough one.
I like these ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
Over this way.
Sure.
I'm trying to determine at some point if was that lot farmed, if anyone else who's been here longer than me.
Where's Walter when you need
That
him?
land.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But was that land
Because
ever
of
farmed, do you know?
Would that water supply have
Walnut Street?
farmed
Yeah.
that land?
I think so.
Right.
No.
That's probably from the road.
Probably a long, way back, but not in my,
Right.
How can you find out how and when that drainage cut was created? It's
talk
just
to the highway
interesting.
Yeah.
department.
Yeah,
'Cause
the
I've got a
highway,
culvert coming into my property, and it's to drain the water coming down the hill.
right, because at some point, the road would have needed to be put over it.
Right.
So,
They
yeah.
probably, when they did it, was when they did the driveway. Would be my guess. If that's the way it's going.
No, it was probably when they paved Walnut Street.
Way back.
A lot of
So go back
culverts
to
were put
Walter.
in like in the 50s.
Walter's like when I was a kid.
I know.
Yep.
Um,
Whoa.
Yeah, check with the highway
Quick and easy.
I'll give you 2 lines, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I guess I could have been a little more space efficient.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so, I mean,
I get it.
you can ask the highway department, they
Sure.
might
I just
know.
didn't know if it was a water source like in the 1800s or something for a farm.
It, more than anything, it was probably just to divert the water.
Divert.
Right. All right, so Maddie's gonna make some copies of this. We're gonna give you the original.
Oh, Maddie?
We're gonna
copies of
keep
these.
a copy for our files and send a copy to DEP.
Oh, and there's nothing more for me to file?
You're out, good to go.
Thank you.
And good luck with those
Appreciate it.
icebergs.
Yeah. Well, Mike's the guy to do it, so.
Yeah, yep. He also, I'm sure, will know when to stop.
Yes.
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 Yep.
You might even ask Mike about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's pretty
Right.
knowledgeable.
Yeah,
Yep.
his grandfather was highway superintendent back in the 50s.
Is that Sawyer Hill Road? Mike
Yeah,
Sawyer?
They're all Sawyers.
Yeah.
Sawyers and
Sawyers.
Wheelers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sawyers and Wheelers.
Yeah. and Wheelers. I was just reading up about Wheeler, where that came from. It's interesting reading.
Like,
Guy who lived in Boston.
yeah,
It's interesting history.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yep,
Very interesting.
yep.
What was that?
There was a Wheeler in the early 1900s who was a philanthropist and I guess was the original owner of the O'Brien farm.
Mm-hmm,
That's
Oh, yeah.
currently Berlin Orchards.
Yep,
It was
yep.
originally Wheeler,
right.
and he lived on,
Which Wheeler was that? Do you know, Peg? That owned,
yeah, he lived downtown
must have been
on, like,
just
Marlborough
before
Street,
Cotting.
Back
Well,
Bay.
would have been a couple people
Cool.
before
I thought
Cotting.
also-
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
did a lot of studies with animals, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Right.
right.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Yeah, the other person who might know is Tim Wheeler, and he owns Cordelia's farm.
Or Eloise.
Or Eloise.
Okay.
She's a wealth of knowledge as well.
Right.
She's here
Yep.
tonight, right?
She's right
She
down
is.
the hall.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's the town clerk.
Sure, sure.
Yep,
You can stop and talk to her.
But yeah, those two names seem to be
yeah,
a big
Yeah.
part of this town.
yes, indeed.
Oh, yeah, and
Wheeler
there's
and
a lot of
Sawyer.
them are related. The Sawyers and the Wheelers are related.
Sure.
Some of them.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you all again.
Thank you,
Very
Joe.
much appreciated. Thanks
you're
for your
welcome.
service.
Good luck.
Take care.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Krista. How are you? All right. Oh, look at that, right on time. How often does that happen?
Oh, you made an extra copy.
Yeah, sorry.
Well,
All right, next, 7:45. Krista and Mr. Para. We're just gonna get Alex a name tag for,
Yeah.
I've been elected chair.
oh, thank God.
you signed it. Okay.
All in favor?
Yeah, right. All right, so this is a continuation of our conversation from a couple weeks ago, or from our last meeting, about whether we're going to, I don't know, agree to, I guess is the proper words, the folks at Highland Ridge donating the open space property to Sudbury Valley trustees, because they can do that and have a conservation restriction on it that does not need state approval. Is that correct? Isn't that what I'm led to
We
believe?
didn't need town meeting approval, I thought it was.
No, we're waiting for state approval.
Oh, okay.
So the notion was, under the zoning bylaw, can either be owned by the homeowners association, subject to a conservation restriction, or can be conveyed to the town, or it can be conveyed to a conservation organization like SPT. So given where we are with the state, honestly, at this point, I just, I don't know if they're even going to be looking at this thing in September. And so I propose, after speaking with Krista, the donation to SVT as a alternative possibility, to accomplish this. SVT first has to agree to accept, of course, and the number of steps to get there. But I think there's a much better chance of that getting done by September than the Commonwealth doing what it's should have been doing for the last 9 months.
We could still grant a CR to the town. We would just wait to get it through the state process.
Right.
But then it would come from SVT instead of from the...
Would it still require the 2/3 vote of the legislature to remove the CR?
Yes.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because I feel more comfortable with that myself, knowing that the CR will be filed with the state at some point in time, just to assure that that land is in a CR.
Yeah.
And then it can't be transferred to anybody else.
Yeah. It could still be transferred to someone else, but the CR would stay on it.
Right, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I guess,
Yeah.
I want it on there before the land is transferred to
Yeah.
somebody else.
Yeah, we
Right.
could do that. We'll just, as long as you don't mind waiting. Because I don't think that wouldn't require, you could just accept that on behalf of the commission. That wouldn't
Right.
require any town meeting vote.
Right. So, I definitely want to hear how everybody feels about this, but the biggest thing that Sudbury Valley trustees should be aware of is that one of the main activities that happens on those trails is horseback riding.
We heard.
Okay.
We went out and walked it today.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as long as that is acceptable, then we can continue to talk. If it's not, then there's no point in going forward.
Yeah, no, we have horseback riding on other properties and we know it's a management challenge, but I know I've talked to people in the area and I know that it's an important thing to folks in this neighborhood. One question that came up is, because the trail easement is held by the town, would you guys want to maintain the trail easement or would you be looking to us to maintain it?
Well, we had talked about I'm going to let Maddie really talk about this part because she's the one who talked with Kristen, right?
Yep.
Mostly, about a monitoring agreement, of which we've already gotten a check for, which I believe still hasn't been cashed, so.
Is it $2,500?
Yes.
Okay, it's in there.
Okay. In which account?
It's in a new account,
Okay.
Highland Ridge Conservation.
Okay. So, which we could then just give, we could figure out how all of that should happen.
Yeah.
But, so I think we were gonna have you guys monitor it for us anyway.
Oh.
So, having the trail easement already really has been kind of a step because of all of these other issues. We wanted the trail easement recorded.
5 cents.
Just to have something, exactly. So, normally that probably wouldn't have happened
Right.
on its own.
Right.
So,
Yeah, in the normal process, it's
So
part
the
of the
monitoring
conservation
should be done by
restrictions.
SVT.
exactly.
I think that's what they were just talking about.
Yep.
This is
So the
an
monitoring
iterative
will be done by
process.
SVT.
And we'll pay for it out of that account? Okay.
All things are subject to how this is going to play out. But that was why we collected the money,
Right.
was for that reason.
Yep.
Whether that's how things end up shaking out, I don't know.
Yes, to cover the first 5 years of the conservation monitoring.
Okay.
And then essentially condo fees would feed into continued monitoring from Highland Ridge.
interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
One of the things that Krista mentioned today was if they take title, would be some kind of endowment, which which might take the place of the,
Sure. Yep. That would be good.
Yeah.
That way, yeah, because I was never really comfortable with the fact that after 5 years, we have to say.
Right, yeah, no, easier to get it as a lump sum and then just,
And we tried to do that. But Kristen didn't seem to really want to do that way.
well, for us, if we're holding it, we pool it with our other stewardship endowments, so then that fund spins off money, so that helps cover a lot of our annual stewardship costs.
I see.
It makes it different if you guys were accepting it and paying us.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest, I was like, Kristen, you deal with this. So I'm kind of late to the party.
Right.
Catching up.
Right, because I do agree that is the better long-term solution. For, again, to have to, in 5 years, let whoever is in charge of the homeowners association at that point to say, hey, this bill is due.
And then you have to chase it down.
And then you have to chase it down, and that person might be fine, but the next person, it gets long term. It can get difficult.
Yeah.
So, yes. Did you have something?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
so I mean, the endowment, assuming a reasonable number is
What's a reasonable number to get this done for you? Really.
We'll take that out in the hallway.
Yeah.
but it's a way of resolving that issue.
Right. And obviously, if that ended up happening, the $2,500 would be refunded.
Well, I should hope so.
Yeah.
Taken off Steve's bill.
Yeah.
So one of the other things that came up today was the monumentation of the open space. I did have email exchange with Rob McKenzie, the surveyor, and his response was all of the, for want of a better word, the interior boundaries between the open space and the development parcel are all staked and marked, and the monumentation on that would be very easy. They didn't do any monumentation of the exterior boundaries, but he says it's mostly, and I just have to take his word for this because I don't know, it's mostly stone walls. So I think that, could be resolved pretty easily.
Yeah, we'll go back out and try to recover some of these other bounds that are shown on the plan.
Right.
A question about the well, because I did read the deed. So if someday in the future, that there did need to be new wells, is DEP okay with having someone other than the homeowners association own that?
So in the past they have, when you're in the development, when it's a new development, they really don't like that.
Yeah.
But in the situation where they're having to replace a water system, then they seem to be okay with it.
Okay.
And it would be ultimately, it's not going to be something that we would be looking to do. It's more DEP telling us we have to do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is an excess of caution, but Don Provencher, who's the water engineer, has had one experience of a well failing and not being able to find another location because of conservation restriction that actually prohibited. That was the reason for the
Inclusion.
reservation of the rights.
Right. And how does SVT feel about
It's new. I don't think we've ever done anything like this before. I was thinking about, could there be a provision for restoring the old well site or a land swap or?
Oh, sure. I mean, if we're abandoning the old wells in favor of new well, I think it would be everybody's intention that that becomes part of the deeded open space.
Right.
Yeah.
People need water.
Yep. Right, and I mean, the worst part about a well is the digging of it.
Right.
And then after that, it
It just sits there.
just sits there, just a little pipe sticking out of the ground.
Well, occasionally there may be a bump replaced or something like that, but it's not near the disturbance of the initial.
Right,
So access has to be
maintained,
considered
yeah.
wherever the wells end up if they have to change location.
Right. Peg, do you want to say anything?
Solid conservation.
Okay, so I have a question, all right, because one of the things was that we wanted to possibly move one of the trails.
Yeah, I had an existing trail that kind of got lost and I
Right.
had that all mapped out, that it's a better path than the one that's there now, that I wanted to add, and when the CR is gonna be reviewed or whatever, I was gonna use that time to add that into the map.
Right, so it kind of happened as the trail easement was being recorded, and so we were going to modify the trail easement with the CR to include, Holly, do you want to just show Krista?
If I can remember.
Well, it's definitely where the trail kind of comes down to the well exclusion area and kind of just
Oh, right.
ends.
It ends there.
Yeah.
And this one
So-
kind of goes around this way, because this is kind of, it's along like a steep, and you've walked it, right?
Yeah,
So
well, we
along a
climbed over
steep
the stone
ledge.
wall there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this one kind of, it's much easier path, and it's actually a pre-existing trail already, except for a little piece that would avoid the well, but it's actually a better path
Okay.
than what's there now.
Right.
So it goes like around the back of the
Yes.
well? Okay.
Mhm.
So that could still happen with this.
Yeah, I would hope that would still be allowed, because it is actually
Outside the circle.
it's outside. Oh yeah, it definitely is. And I have the GPS coordinates. I could provide it to you,
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. Thank
the
you.
points and everything. Just because I think this original is like a deer path, and I mean, for people hiking, I could see erosion issues.
Yeah.
The other one is it's just a better.
Okay. Actually,
Anyway.
if the engineer has a shape file or anything for that, that would be great to get too. So I said I would take this to our land protection committee, which happens to be meeting next week, and then we have a board vote the following week.
Okay.
So it's fast to put it all together, but try our best.
Right, well, a fair amount of the work is already been done.
Yeah.
So that is helpful.
Mhm.
So I guess our decision needs to be, do we want to do this?
So what are the downsides of doing it? Like,
Well-
what are the concerns of, like, what could go wrong? Are there any?
Peg, do we need,
Town vote.
or a select board vote at least?
Probably.
Because it's the same thing as the Lettle stuff, right? It's
Yeah.
a land
Acquisition.
transfer.
But it's not, doesn't involve us,
not.
though.
Not a
This
transfer.
is like a private,
Well, that's actually true.
yeah, because it
Because
would
they haven't
be,
technically given it to us yet.
yeah, so it's
That
a private entity donating to SVT, and we're not really involved in it. That's kind of the purpose
So we
of
need
it,
to
right?
guarantee that you're gonna give it back. Not that we
No,
don't trust
no,
you.
right.
Yeah, not that, right, that would be the only.
Right. My
Right,
concern is that they don't transfer it to somebody else or sell it
Right.
Well,
in the interim.
even if they were to do that, the CR would remain.
No, because the CR is not registered. So right now,
We still have
right?
to finish the CR.
Right, but that's your goal.
Yes.
So I want to like
But
know
I-
when that's going to happen.
We could write a letter of intent, or, I mean, it's not legal.
Because
Right,
that's
I mean,
what we said
you guys,
before.
do you guys ever sell property? Like, that's
No.
not your, that's not what you
No,
do.
but I've
That
heard-
you're a land collector.
I know, I've heard rumors though from certain people in this town that that has happened, and they forewarned me. And there's certain people that are big landowners here that are kind of hesitant about things. So they kind of put that in my head. So I'm bringing it up. I don't know. I tried to research it myself. I
Yeah,
didn't see anything, but
We haven't, so there, I used to hear this all the time, and I was like, why do people think that we, like, people would be like, you guys develop land, and the only thing I can think of is when we did the Malone property, that involved the sale of some lots, but it was part of the whole original deal to put it together, and that is not uncommon, like, if you have a big piece of property, we talked about it doing it with Laura, selling off a few lots to help fund the rest of the acquisition. The other thing someone told me once is that the people that started the Sudbury Foundation, they made their money from land development. They built like tons of subdivisions, and they were called like something like Sudbury Valley Trustees. And I was like, maybe that's it. Like back in the
Right,
60s, people.
right.
Yeah. So I don't know, but it's, no. When once land is we acquire it for conservation, it stays as conservation land.
Right, right. And very specifically, you guys did not sell land to the co-housing
No,
project.
we did not.
so
Right.
that was one of the.
Oh,
That's,
yeah.
that is
That-
a persistent rumor.
Oh, yes.
in
No,
town.
That was Chapter 61 withdrawal. And yeah. I mean, it may not have turned out as ideally as everyone had hoped, but we didn't, it was all part of the whole package.
Right, right. But Sudbury Valley trustees did not own the land and then sell it.
No.
Right. So,
It's like-
because I've heard that too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I've
no,
heard
I,
lots of things.
yeah.
And I-
Small town drama.
Right.
Right, so the people who now own that property, the front part, they bought that from the Devines.
Yep.
And the town bought the woodlands from the owners,
Yep.
from the Devine family,
Yep.
right? So it's two separate.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And then the thing is, what was in the CR could remain in there, other than the post, like what I would like to add, the additional trail, that would stay, way it's written now. kind of thing.
Say what, sorry?
The conservation restriction that we're gonna file, we can just still add that extra trail in, and that would still happen, or do we have to redo anything with the CR because of what's happening?
We'd have to change the grantor clause
Right,
to be
okay.
from SVD. So, I'll work with Alex to
Okay.
grab it back from the state and make some changes.
Oh.
Yeah, right. They have to find it first.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, if this is the path that the commission, wants to go down, then in terms of deeding to SVT, I think it can be accomplished much more quickly, and, the CR model can,
Right. I mean, so I guess to answer your question, Robin, the biggest, and I don't know that you would even call it a downside, but the biggest thing is that we wouldn't own the land. The town wouldn't own the land. Sudbury Valley trustees would own the land.
well, but remember that right now, the homeowner, the condominium would own the land. So you're going from a condominium
Correct.
to
We,
SVT.
right, we
Yeah, I
wouldn't
don't- I
own
don't
the,
see-
right,
I
we
don't
wouldn't
know
own the
about
land
that.
anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
But we would just have a
When do we go
CR.
to, yeah, but don't we get it back,
Get what back?
the land?
We don't own it. Nope.
Well, you would own it.
Yeah, we would give you the conservation restriction. So you would hold a legal interest, but you wouldn't have to manage the land.
But even before, we weren't gonna get the land. It was
Right.
their land that there was just gonna have a CR in it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't think it really makes a difference to us, as long as the CR ultimately gets on the land.
Right,
And you were
Right,
gonna maintain
because
it for
our
us anyway.
goal is to protect the land.
Yeah.
Right, and what's written in that CR is protected. I
Right.
don't want that to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're
Yep.
just going. in
I think
circles
it's a
then.
reasonable solution, so.
Yeah. One last thing.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, there we go. That's where we're at, yeah.
I was convinced last meeting.
Yeah, yep.
This is
I
the right way
just-
to go.
Yeah, I think,
But we don't vote
much
on
as
that?
I love seeing you at every meeting,
Oh.
we don't need to do it for the rest of the year.
Even though, apparently you did not bring cookies again.
I know.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, right, never mind, deals off.
That's
Oh, I see.
He was the guy who was told to bring the cookies.
Actually, one of the buyers going to bring a couple of cookies, but she didn't show up.
This,
Oh, I see.
this is gonna move you forward, but
Yeah,
So what does,
for our
so
new,
the only,
new residents, we wanna welcome. I think this is,
Yeah.
right,
we get this moving forward.
right.
so the only thing that comes to mind now is if you give that to SVT, does that, we lose control of the occupancy permits and all that stuff then?
But I don't think that matter. I mean, we just,
Because then,
Because
they have it, so now we're done, we're done.
right, because, so the only reason we had any involvement with that at all
Is to
was
lock
in
up
order
that.
to get the
Yeah.
CR done. So, as long as the CR is done,
well, it won't be done, but the land will be in the hands of a trusted
right,
partner.
right,
And
I
they-
think,
they
right,
can't
so
do
I think
anything
for
else.
me, you guys getting, us knowing that this is really gonna happen. Yeah, in order for us to feel comfortable with finally saying, all right, good, we're out, is to see some sort of agreement between you guys.
Okay.
But that won't happen until she meets, right, with the board and you guys. So it won't
Right, so it's a
happen
couple
Yeah,
more
2
weeks.
weeks, better than
Yeah.
the state, been like a
Yeah.
year.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't, I mean, honestly, I mean, just by way of example, I had another development project where we had the CR reviewed before John Joya left, and he had just a few comments. And
That's almost worse.
and but the permitting wasn't complete. So with the permitting complete, we filled in the blanks and sent it back in.
And there it sits.
This was like filling in names.
Right, well, like I said, that's even worse, honestly.
So I don't have any confidence that we won't be sitting here in September, October.
Right. And, like I said, as much as I enjoy seeing you, we don't need to do this for the rest of the year.
I'm gonna find another project.
Oh, boy.
I am.
Don't forget the cookies.
Right.
I'm also gonna buy the town bake. Is there a town bakery?
Oh, no, we're not that big with you.
Yeah.
We have a general store.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question.
she's
Okay,
got a
so
pretty good
this would
recipe.
take the place of
Oh,
the
that's
CR
right.
that was submitted
Make
to
that
the
up for ya.
state for review,
Correct.
but it would have to be accepted by the state. This
So,
would also have to, so how would that change things?
It would just, the only thing that would change is we would own the land, so you wouldn't have to worry so much, like, we'll give you our word that we're gonna
right.
complete the CR,
Okay,
so.
but it still has to be registered by the state.
Yes.
Yep.
And until it's accepted by the state, is it in effect?
No.
No,
The
but,
land will be in the hands of SVT.
right, but SVT will own the land.
Okay,
And that's all they do.
Right.
Yeah.
right,
That's,
Yep.
I
right. I mean,
no offense. We have a good working relationship with SVT. I trust that everything will go to plan and the land will be protected, which is our ultimate goal.
Right.
Right.
I mean, that's,
The only other thing is with the homeowners association, will they have to have a say in this as well? Because they've already written out certain things in their little bylaws.
no,
They're-
the,
SVT will own the land.
I mean, yeah, no, but
Right.
I mean, I just didn't know if the homeowners association.
no, actually, it
Knocks them
protects,
out.
it protects the property even more.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah.
I just didn't know
Yep.
if there was any loophole or anything that could
Right.
happen. I don't know. Okay, cool.
Walter's okay with it, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what we're talking about?
What? No.
But I agree.
That makes 7 of us.
Yeah, right?
Walter clearly had a nice dinner.
Yeah.
All right, so how about I let you know after the board vote?
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Yep.
Are you doing it by Zoom or in person? Do you want me to show up?
That's nice of you to offer. We don't usually have other people at our board meetings. And I don't know if it's gonna be Zoom or in person. Anyway, we're still on the fence about these things.
Right.
Are we gonna put this on the agenda for the 15th, then, do you think?
We
Is
certainly
that too fast?
are. Oh, right, because you said 2 weeks.
What day is
Close.
this?
Today is the 1st, so our
We meet
next
again the
meeting
5th.
will be the 15th.
Oh, that's the same night as our board meeting.
Okay, so no.
If you wanna put it on your agenda for like 9:30?
No, thank you.
So if they say no, then we're back to square one again.
Yes, as long as the due diligence checks out, and we've talked a little bit about that, I don't really see any problems here. I can't imagine that if staff recommends to the board that we do this, they will probably be very happy to get almost 45 acres of woodlands to
Right.
add to the conservation portfolio. So, I mean, it's a really lovely woodland.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if there's a way to link up that to your other SVT property
Yeah.
at Steen's place. I'm trying to figure that out.
Right, well, and
makes
I
sense.
think there's other landowners abutting that we should be talking to, and
Right. Right. But it does help. It's another piece of potential connectivity,
yeah,
which,
It's almost possible.
yeah.
So
Right.
SVT's gonna vote next week?
No.
2 weeks.
Well, next week, Land Protection Committee, the following week, the board.
Right.
And our next meeting after that is July 6th.
Right. And you will still be gone.
But not
I won't be
forgotten.
here either.
Not forgotten.
Either July 6th too. I'm not away.
Anybody else
Which
going
one?
away for the 4th of July week?
Yeah, I'm not here.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I'll be here.
Will you be here?
I think so.
If he remembers.
Right.
He's not out drinking with his buddies.
Well, no, because that like puts us close to not having a quorum.
The 6th?
One more
I'll be
person.
here. My granddaughters will be in town, so
Okay.
I'll be here.
Yeah, are they here now?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
A couple more weeks.
The 6th?
Ooh,
Yes.
I will be here.
All right, good. Put right now. Put the
Yeah.
meeting in.
What time's the meeting start?
7 o'clock.
No, I'm just.
Every meeting, 2 days
We should
before,
set
I'm
up like a
like, this
joint
week.
calendar thing like adults, and then it goes
No,
out to everyone.
no. First Wednesday and third Wednesday,
But the phone doesn't tell me I don't show up.
It's 7,
every month. First and third.
and it's here.
In this building.
Yeah, right now.
Right, actually, right here, yeah. Okay.
Got it. Yeah. It's a struggle.
Okay, July 6th.
Yes. Okay. Oh, you want me here too?
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
I guess
Am
you
I
don't
here
need to, do you, all right, are you going away?
Maybe.
Are you going away?
No.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
is there anything we need, what's our next step on our end? Do we even need to
Our
be
next, our next step is to make sure that this happens.
Oh, so
Yeah.
we can't vote on anything
No.
today.
No.
But do we have to vote on it? I mean, realistically, what they do doesn't really affect us other
I
than
think
us.
the occupancy permits
but-
will release them if they,
But so that's
their
what,
thing.
which,
What we would need to decide is to release them from their obligation to us that they have made.
so we don't need Krista though for that, right? We could get the information offline.
Right, I mean, as long as all goes well
If you don't wanna
with
come.
you.
I want to. But
Yeah, everybody
Or if you
loves
wanna
an
come
extra
and
meeting at
bring
night.
cookies, too.
my kids will be away at camp then.
Oh, yeah, she's not.
yeah, you're checked out. All right. Enjoy yourself. Yeah.
So, occupancy certificates.
We're not even talking about them until this is done.
Oh,
No.
Come on.
No! We-
Hey, seriously. No, well, let me just say this. We've used 12 of the 13 that have been released. One still to close. There are people with expectations in the end of June and into July. 66 units. You release 13. I would ask for another 10 to get us through August. we've made every effort. We've gone above and beyond. I know, you keep talking about the history here, and we keep disagreeing about it. But this is completely beyond our control now. We've done everything we can.
And we have been more than reasonable in trying to work with you guys to help you because of the situation. I believe that at the meeting that we discussed before, I'm trying to remember.
What I said?
Yeah, go ahead.
Paraphrasing, we are gonna let you have these 13 and no sob story thereafter would get you anymore.
It's not
And we gave you plenty
Ample
of reasons
warning
and
for the next
warnings
people,
for
right,
that.
to come in.
And no matter what
Yeah.
you said and came with, the people
Right,
not
it
being
wouldn't matter.
homeless or
Yeah.
this and that, we wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that, like their expectations, it was well known.
And that you had plenty of time
Right.
to let the people purchasing the houses know the
Yeah.
situation.
So there shouldn't be any expectations at this
No,
point.
the onus was on you guys.
My words.
I understand, but this is really not a fair situation.
But that's the state's issue, that's not really our issue. Like, we
Well, I
didn't create the
understand,
state's
but-
issue.
But we're an applicant who's done everything that it can be done, that we can do. We've proposed this alternative solution. We've been to the state. We went to the state 9 months ago with this.
Wasn't there a discrepancy of, could have gone to the state a lot sooner, like a year and a half sooner? And that was part of it last time too?
Again.
Something like that.
Yeah, but no reasonable expectation would have been that it would take them 9 months to do precisely nothing. So, we're sitting here, we have units, you have more than ample security with, what would remain, which would be another 43 units. I think there's a very good chance, Krista was saying, that, she doesn't anticipate a difficulty with this. I think there's a very good chance that we could accomplish this transfer, before the end of August. I mean, I think there's some due diligence things. So I'm giving, a reasonable.
I'm not even going to
forecast.
entertain anymore until we hear from SVT. Once we know SVT is on board with this, I personally would be fine giving you all the rest of them. We'll see how everybody else feels, but it doesn't really matter what we say. It doesn't.
Is that
You
the
guys
list of
just
units
keep
there?
coming back and keep
That's
coming
the
back.
list.
With the dates and all that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
we
the
went
one you
through
had
this
before.
already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
I feel like.
and then the gentleman in the back is obviously a buyer, right?
No, he's.
Back right.
No.
Different thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some
Because
buyers
I almost
showed
felt
up.
bad for him, but then now I don't feel bad for
Yeah.
him. I was trying to be nice.
Yep.
So I would propose a motion to not release any more occupancy permits
Until.
until SVT comes in and says everything's golden or completed to the standard that SVT, a trusted partner, agrees to.
Second.
Do we even have to vote on this?
We don't have
No,
to.
we don't, do we?
Well, then to end it though and move on, that doesn't the vote
Can I
close
just
it?
say,
It does.
before the July 6th meeting, there are 2 units that are supposed to close. So can we have 2? I'm just trying to get, this is.
I don't want to be the bad guy, but I said what I said.
Right. Right.
then if I don't-
But I feel like it doesn't matter. I feel like we keep telling you guys where
It's not
our.
that it doesn't matter. We went through this
I understand, and now we're working with you on this. You just keep saying, yeah, but. We hear you, we understand you, but can't we just have 2? Can't we just have 5? Can't we just have 7? Let's just do this. Let's just get it done.
Get all of them.
And you'll get all of them.
Okay, I'm coming to your board meeting.
I'm feeling a little squeezed.
I know, right. Sorry to put you in that position. Sorry, they put you in that position.
pressure.
But,
Can I ask a couple of things here? If your board votes in favor of this, how long do you think getting documents to us to review would take?
Well, you've already seen the draft
Yep.
CR, right?
Yeah?
So I think that's all.
And you've seen the draft deed.
Yeah. Do we need anything else beyond that? Once
other,
we get
the
that.
board of it, well, and that's what I'm saying. Once we have the board approval, once we know Sudbury Valley trustees is going to go, agree to this, I'm comfortable pulling completely out of it on our end.
I'd be fine with that as well. Yeah, I would vote to release it all once.
We just want to do title and.
Right, you guys
We
need
think
to
we
do what you
need
need
some
to do,
environmental
right,
diligence and-
right.
yeah.
All you would have to do
But-
is email us and say it's all set, and then
But are we gonna release them just on there saying that they're gonna do it, or release it when they're when the deal's final?
that would be the release, wouldn't it?
No.
It would be fine.
No.
That's just them agreeing in a couple weeks. It's gonna take a few
Right.
months to close a deal, right?
It could, I mean.
But you still have your chips in at the state too?
The only thing that would really.
Or is that going to cancel out your state chips?
The only thing that, so once the board approves, the next thing I would do would be to order title and we have to figure out whether there's already been an environmental site assessment done. So those are the only two, real due diligence pieces that would have to get done, and you may have a title that we could
Yeah,
start
we
with.
can give you a title.
Yeah.
And we could probably write your title insurance.
So
okay,
how
so,
long would
yeah.
it take to do those two procedures?
I don't know.
Because I think there is a difference between your saying, yes, we'll do it,
Mhm.
and it actually, something could happen in the meantime.
Yeah.
And we're back to square one.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking when they say yes, we release the 10 that he's asking for, and then once the due diligence is done.
Do you want to change that number before you come back? Or do you want 10?
I'm sure he does.
In 2 weeks, you're going to want 10?
To 51.
Is there such a thing as our Conservation Commission holding a special meeting to address something like this?
Sure. I mean, we can hold a special meeting.
I don't think it speeds it up, right? On your end, it doesn't speed anything up.
Right.
Well, I mean, are you
No,
saying...
but if they're voting on the 15th and adequate progress is made by the 20th, can we meet?
Stick with it.
I don't know, but, okay. All right.
Okay.
But then she says she still has to go through
Yeah.
a couple.
Right,
other things.
let's just
Yeah, so
keep it
I
at the
feel like
6th.
it's-
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
It's time.
You'll be on vacation anyway.
Yeah, no.
That's what he was hoping.
Right, get it
We'll
all
zoom
done
you in,
before
don't worry, I'll set up a TV. Yeah.
But I would say it's more than likely that on the 6th, we would be releasing the 10, not all of them. I don't think we should commit to all of them until the due diligence is complete. And
It's done. That's what I
Completely,
thought we were.
Yeah,
but
whatever.
This is a halfway step.
So a motion was made, right?
No,
really- we don't
it was,
really have-
no, it was back motioned,
Withdrawn.
withdrawn.
We don't
Withdrawn?
need a vote.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Withdrawn?
Withdrawn.
I like withdrawn.
Me too, actually, but,
Scottish.
Yeah, there you go.
Gave me 2 copies. Did you need to do that? Did you do that?
Oh.
So her board will vote,
I carry her.
and that will then put the paperwork in motion. And then we have to wait the allotted time for the paperwork. So after the board vote, we're gonna release,
a number.
or are we voting to release? We're not guaranteeing anything.
Right, we're gonna vote.
To release, possibly, and then once the paperwork by SVT is 100% knocked out, then we're guaranteeing the release.
Sure.
Yeah, once
Yeah.
it's a done deal and SVT owns the land. I
Okay,
don't
so you
know.
have one guarantee there, and then a vote in the middle. And you didn't bring cookies.
What?
There were no cookies.
No cookies.
All right,
All right, I didn't want to be accused of bribery.
right.
I think it's under $25,
We
it's not
can,
bribery,
we can
right?
do celebration cookies when it's all done.
Ooh.
Martha Stewart brought cookies to the planning board in the town I grew up in. And people did not think that was cool.
Really?
Yeah.
She was accused of bribery, yeah.
Were they the special cookies she went to jail for? Is that partly why? Yeah.
That's not why she went to jail.
Wasn't it part? Never mind. I know.
No.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
All right,
thank you very much.
July
Oh,
6th.
thank you.
Good
All
to see
right,
you.
7:30.
Title, whatever title you have.
Sure. And Steve is checking out on the phase one, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. I'm next on.
You are,
Okay.
yeah.
You again?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Have a good
Bye.
night. Good night.
Thank you, Alex.
Take your time.
Okay, so we have purchase and sale, and we have CR.
Right, so now, just so everyone knows, we're talking about Horseshoe Pond.
And,
And that's the lower property, right?
Correct,
Okay.
yes.
Got you this.
I was gonna say, there's like 9 names for this, and I
Right.
can't even keep
Yep.
track of it anymore.
So it's Horseshoe Pond.
Yep.
You didn't have the printout PNS, did you?
I did not.
Yeah. Neither did I.
I have it.
I know.
Not in a hard copy. It's pretty standard format, purchase and sale. It has.
Oh, I can't.
So now we're going the opposite direction. So we'll sell you the land and then you grant us the CR.
Right.
So that's in there. Has to have clear title. I think we didn't need any contingencies for any town meeting votes because those had already happened. Title. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
And what did you have for a date?
That was hard because, so I said, no later than June 15th, 2023. Because that would be, so we got the land, if we didn't get the MVP grant, we did get the land grant, it would have to close by June 30th, 2023. So I figured June 15th would be the outermost date we'd want to schedule closing.
So, that's interesting. So if we get the land grant, which we should find out soonish?
The MVP grant will find
I mean, the
out
MVP grant.
August or September.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
kind of.
So then,
Okay.
with that, we could close as early as like October, November. And even with the land grant, those awards are usually made November. So we could, they say, don't plan on closing before January. So next June is just like the outermost
Right.
date. So we can
Right.
once we.
Right, so if we get the MVP grant, we can close as soon as possible
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
So potentially the shortest amount of time that you would own it would be like 2 months.
Yep.
Okay.
So what was the purchase price, 1.2?
1.15.
I'm sorry, what was that?
1.15.
Okay. And we have 490 from,
Right, we have 490 and 350, I
is
think.
350 the second amount from?
Yep, from CPA. And then,
Are we using the 283 or whatever?
well,
that's
we're
in it?
using 260 of it.
Okay.
And then, so that left us 50,000 short, I believe. If I can't even believe I used to have, 2 months ago, I had this all boom, boom, boom. I think I've,
How's the fundraising going?
It's good. Well, we met the crowdfunding goal. So
Yeah.
that was good. And now we're just waiting on one more grant, which I hope we find out about. So,
right.
So we only need 50 grand?
So, and we did get access to free cash at town meeting, should we need it, outside of the fundraising. So how is that gonna work with the numbers in the PNS and,
what part? Sorry.
well, so, you know how we had that $50,000 shortfall, and you had said that fundraising might make that up,
Yes.
so.
So the total amount you've appropriated is 1.1 or 1.15?
Well, without the free cash, it's 1.1.
Okay. So what we might need to do is like give you $50,000 and then you write a check for the full amount to
Okay.
us, and then it's a little
Right.
bit of a.
Well, we do have a donation account now.
What about our mall money from next year? Can't we just, if we're not closing till June, can't we just use that?
Oh, potentially.
yeah.
Yeah, because, well, that's assuming the mall pays us on time.
Well, yeah,
They're
too.
supposed to, we would, theoretically, we would get that money in November.
Okay.
So
But
that
if
might,
it's June, I mean, we should have that by June. I know, assuming the mall doesn't
Right.
go under
Yeah.
the next year,
right.
which is
So,
highly
yeah,
likely.
yeah. I mean, there's,
Yeah, but I mean, it seems like,
but
I thought we were much
the
further
longer
off.
they hold it, the more interest we pay.
Right.
Oh,
now
yeah,
interest
okay.
rates are
So-
going up, so we don't want to
Right.
minimize that.
We want,
Yeah.
yes.
So.
but I mean,
So-
even still, so if we do get the mall money on time though, I mean, that,
If we get the mall money on time and it works out, then
Yeah.
that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. And
If,
the state's really good about, they usually reimburse within like 2 weeks once you have, be getting your paperwork in. So.
right, right.
okay, so we should be in good shape then.
Yeah, I feel like we are.
Yeah.
So let's just hope the fundraising works out and then we figure out how to just make that happen.
Yeah.
If the fundraising doesn't work out, we still have plenty of money, right?
Yep,
Oh, okay.
yep. It just, again, it's just that $50,000.
Yeah, I mean, that's like
So-
peanuts on the, I mean, not,
Right.
not that it's nothing, but I mean, when you look at all the.
Right, out of the whole, right, it's a small percentage
Yeah.
of the overall amount. Yes, so, yeah, so it's really just that 50,000 that we need to, we will need to pay attention to
Yeah.
as we get closer.
Okay. All right. So can we send this to Sharon to review?
Sure.
Okay. I can do that. I should CC Margaret probably.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I'll do that. And then we have the conservation restriction, which I mostly copied from Wendler. I did-
Wendler or Oberg?
Wendler.
Okay.
Wendler was more recent than Oberg.
It was,
Yeah.
but where it's the next piece down from
Oh,
Oberg, I
yeah.
was, yeah.
Well, because the state keeps updating the template, I figure I always try to go to the most recent one, so it's
Right.
closest to the template. So,
Okay.
So what does it do? It allows for vegetation management, invasive species control, composting, ecosystem improvements. I put in, this is a kind of a new one, indigenous cultural practices. I don't know. So this is, a lot of land trusts are doing this now. There are Native American groups that want to come on and use the land for maybe foraging or ceremonial
Cultural,
purposes.
yeah.
Yeah. So the way I put it in here was with prior written notice to the grantee. So at least we would have some. I mean, this is one of those things where like nobody's asked us yet, but
Right.
it's happening. You know, people are more aware of this, and if somebody did come to us and said we want to, I don't know if there's any like history, significance of this site to make any Native American groups, but
The only thing that I'm aware of is the Assabet over by River Bridge, right?
The what?
Native American activity being documented at the shores of the Assabet
Well, along the
more than
Assabet.
Pisgah.
I mean, there was a lot of activity down where all that development occurred, down by
Right.
the Rotary and down in the fields across from Spooky World, and a lot of arrowheads have been found around.
Right,
there, yeah.
but not necessarily Pisgah.
No,
Right.
not
I
that
thought,
I'm aware of.
what was it, Natural Heritage? I thought they had like a GIS layer that showed like known cultural resources.
Yeah.
Mass Historic does. They're kind of biased towards colonial. They don't have a lot of pre-colonial
Okay.
Right.
sites.
Clamshell Pond in Clinton has been verified
Oh,
as
right,
Native
yeah,
American
that's right.
sites.
Yeah.
That makes
So I
sense.
would guess that probably was also.
Right.
All right. So it seems
So-
like if you guys are okay with leaving it in there, we'll just maybe.
Mary
Yeah.
Ann would know who's,
Hmm?
Mary Ann
we-
would know.
Hmm.
trails,
She's forgotten a lot, though.
trail maintenance, new trails, trail like boardwalks, footbridges, etc., signs.
Oh, this is good. We can get some bridges in that lower
Yeah.
property.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I had the,
Right now it's bone dry though.
is it?
It was a Monday.
Yeah.
So this is the CR for the
For,
Horseshoe Pond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hunt
Motorized
there, too?
vehicles for mobility impaired.
yeah, so what do you have for hunting?
Can you hunt
Okay.
Pisgah? You can hunt Pisgah, right?
Better be, yeah.
So you should be able to
I mean,
hunt the lower
usually
half.
we allow it
Yeah.
on CR.
Thank you.
I think it might go.
Yeah.
It might be under like recreational uses. Oh yeah, fish, outdoor passive recreational education activities, fishing, hunting, trapping,
No one does it anymore, but it
No.
should be fine to
Yeah,
do.
leave it in there.
All
Yeah.
right.
hiking,
Historic.
horseback riding.
What's that?
Horseback riding.
Yeah, they ride there. Not a select few, but yeah, they do.
Cross country skiing, snowshoeing, ice skating, nature observation, outdoor
Ice skating?
education. Thought maybe the pond.
Shouldn't they allow
Yeah, we used to ice skate there.
Say hunting?
Yeah, they're gonna let it.
I don't
Yeah.
think anyone's ice skated lately.
No.
I know. Doesn't get cold enough
Yeah.
anymore.
So yeah, it's kind of like this. This
I wanna
has
see that.
everything that you could probably imagine doing out there, and then you can always, if for some reason it doesn't require you to allow ice skating. Like if that, if you feel that may become a liability
not
for
want
the
ice
town, it doesn't. You don't have to allow it. It's just allowed.
That
in this
horseshoe
scenario.
pond was a great.
I hear we
Skating
should allow
place.
sunbathing as well.
Oh, yeah.
On camera, afterwards.
We did when we were out there for the site walk. There was somebody.
You met the gentleman?
Yeah, is
Nice.
he a regular?
Yes.
From what we hear.
Yes, he is.
Gentlemen, that's what we'll call them.
The gentleman.
I was going to say hi, but then I got a phone call and we were kind of wandering off.
That's brave of you.
Yeah.
Very, very friendly.
40 Caves was another Native American site.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that's where they got all their flint for their arrowheads
Oh,
and
wow.
everything.
Oh, that's. I have to.
Mhm.
I will have to mention that back at the office.
There's still signs of it, like 20 years ago maybe. You could still tell that that had been a Native American
Cool.
site.
Yeah, and then even on the Highland Ridge, there are stones and stuff that they use that for. It's like, actually, it's really cool. The Balance Rock stone is like a sounding stone to one on Orchard Hill.
Oh.
So there's a lot of cool stuff in this town that,
Yeah.
and where the solar farm is too, there are some rock formations that they set up that you used as well. There's a lot in
Huh.
this town. Very
Cool.
interesting.
Gates Pond has another one of those rock
Yes,
formations.
Yeah.
yeah, there is. There's a whole thing dedicated to it. A guy comes and he talks sometimes here from Native America to
Oh,
talk
really?
about what's going on in the town.
Oh, let me know next
Anna
time.
Crane, if you know her, she's
What's
Anna Crane,
Anna
Dr.
Crane?
Anna Crane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's the chair of the capital planning.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
she's a good resource.
Great, thank you. I'm looking for more info. Okay, then we have forest management. So I left in agriculture. I don't know if that's something you would, in case someday.
Would that have something to do with the handicap access plan for the bottom?
What's that?
Agriculture?
Krista?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't sure if you wanted to
Like
leave in
growing stuff.
agricultural
Oh.
activity.
I don't know if that would tie into
No,
that.
actually.
In that bottom field.
Right.
Community.
Because I can remember when those fields were hayed, and then there was an orchard across the brook up Lyman Road
Yeah.
there, and, yeah.
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 Okay, we put it there.
Right.
The only thing I would caution about that is modern or current agricultural
Practices.
practices typically include the use of herbicides, pesticides, and other things that we probably don't want in our
Well,
water.
you could restrict that though.
I was gonna say, we don't have to, I mean,
They'd have to write a letter first to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but make
Yeah.
sure you allow Roundup, that's all.
Yeah.
Only the good stuff.
So it does include
Glyphosate?
animal
Yeah.
husbandry.
Huh?
So if you wanted to do like goats for
4-H or
control
something.
or- yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, I know Leah does that. Yeah.
Right. So one of the things we've talked about, well, you and I have talked about it also, is, potentially kind of a level all-access trail
Yes.
on that flatter lower part. And if we did some sort of community garden, not community garden, like open to the public, but, you know, some kind of garden, that would all be,
Yeah.
Like a demonstration garden or something?
no, more like the word that keeps, a serenity garden is what,
Oh.
you know, kept coming.
There was always a garden in that corner there of Linden Street, Lyman Road, all in there where the farms set, and then that was either pumpkin patch or something else. So
Right.
it's good soil, and it's always had good agriculture in it. Wouldn't hurt to have
But,
something.
You know, I feel like we should make that separate from agricultural activities, because agriculture, I think, is thinking more about crops and livestock, and it
Right.
requires an NRCS plan. So why don't I add something about I like that serenity garden or
Yeah.
other kind of public.
Right, like a reflecting space, like whatever term we want to use, but something
somewhere
to
in the,
just,
in the meadow area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll work on that.
What's it? There's only 3 or 4 acres there, so you could be specific about it.
right.
So you'll need to do something about the parking, because that would be horrendous on that corner. It's already bad now.
Right.
Well, we could take away our gentleman's spot and put some parking.
Force them up the road.
Right, I know, so.
I don't live that way.
We really haven't talked about parking, additional parking
The logical
specified.
space, Madam Chairman, is to go up Lyman Road a little ways and make a big parking area so the dirt
Right across
bikes
from that first
and the
house.
dirt bikes could take off and parking and have fireworks and.
Yeah, right, but right across the street from the first house. That's Peg's house.
Now I get it.
Say
Yeah.
that. I always
Yeah.
think that
That's where she
the
lives.
parking area that's there on Linden Street is not on the property, but it is on the property.
It is on
Okay,
the
so I need
property.
to- I need to
Right, so
include
we
that in
need
this
to
deal.
include that and decide if we're going to expand it at all or designate it a little bit more or.
For
yeah.
parking on the new spots, new Zen garden and
Right, and if we're
All
not going
accessible
to have parking on Lyman, right, when you turn the corner, we need to figure out how to dissuade that. If we are going to have parking, we should figure out how to identify that. You know, how to
I want to
make it
interject
more
something here,
official.
Madam Chairperson.
Oh, what?
I hear what you're saying, and that's all right.
Oh, thank you.
Over the years, if I knew the way our land was going to be used it is today, 50% of my enthusiasm would have been gone protecting land. I'm not here protecting land to be a regional recreation area for people walking dogs and people out hiking in Berlin, all right? I protect land for natural ecosystems and wildlife and natural systems. I don't protect it, and I understand SVT needs constituency. So they want to do everything they can to bring it and advertise it, put out maps and all this stuff. Directly conflicts with what my image was over the last 40 years of spending an enormous amount of time taking advantage of my contacts and everything and protecting land. So I don't think we need to promote any more use of the land. It's already overrun, and it's going to happen anyway. But I'm not into, I'm sorry, I'm not into promoting use and, running around with people who don't know a maple tree from a pine tree, but they're getting out exercise in Berlin, the lovely little town, and none of them appreciate the history and the culture and the ecology and wildlife or anything else. And it kind of irks me, frankly. So
And I hear what you're
don't
saying.
promote it too much.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Okay?
Yeah, there are already, I would say, 3 access points. You've got on Linden Street,
Right.
on Therian, right there. Down on Lyman Road, there's a parking area. And up on Ball Hill, there's a parking area.
Right.
Although that one is not.
I think the
very good.
point, of that whole spot is where the gentleman goes is a paved driveway to the old farm, and we just need to control that access
Right, we
there.
need to figure out what we're gonna do there.
Right.
Right.
That's all.
And I agree that, one of our concerns is keeping it for wildlife.
Right.
Providing
course.
Thank you.
natural
Yeah.
habitat. If you start putting in a lot of parking lots, then,
Yep. It's more,
right.
in no way was I saying we should pave the crap out of it and put a bunch of parking in. I was saying we need to decide how we're going to designate parking.
Right.
It just becomes a safety issue with
Yeah.
the cars that are
Right.
parking on
Right.
Lyman, with the amount of construction going on up Lyman, that road is deteriorating. Somebody's gonna get hit.
Yeah, yep. The other thing that we might want to think about is a plaque, one of those.
Oh,
I was just
yeah.
in Salem, so like the not a kiosk, but just a.
Well, like
Oh my
down,
gosh.
The bronze thing on the rock?
like an interpretive.
Yeah,
Yes,
kind of
yeah.
like, explaining the history, especially of the corner.
Yeah. would be nice.
Of the, mention the Lyman School.
Yep.
And just, kind of, so that people who visit from out of town can have some understanding of the history of the property.
We can even put interpretive information about trees.
We could? Yeah. I would love to, do some more informative kind of thing, informational.
There was a Boy Scout camp there too,
Yeah.
Yep. Was that on the property, though? Or was that?
Yeah, the abutment's still there where the building was.
Cool.
They also used to park up on the hill, too, further up.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So, maybe just historical.
Yeah. So I think that all falls under, we have like signage provisions in here. So
Right.
That's fine.
Was that for a brochure?
This is the CR.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Allowed uses.
Yes, constructing, installing, maintaining, and replacing signs and informal kiosks with respect to the permitted acts and uses, the purposes, the conservation values. We could put conservation and historic values.
Yep.
Boundary trail markings. Yeah, okay. Got the kitchen sink in here.
Right?
All right, so I can do another draft,
Okay.
send it to you, and then if it looks good, we'll send it into the state, and then we wait.
And then we wait.
Few years.
Right.
Well, supposedly now they brought in Irene Delbano, who's the old reviewer.
I
so
heard.
she's in, and then I also heard that somebody they just hired for one of the grant programs, Vanessa Varney, is also being pulled off to review CRs.
Good,
So,
good.
One historical fact about that is John F. Kennedy actually visited that property.
I read
Really?
that
Yeah.
somewhere, yeah.
Yeah,
That was in
and
the
stayed
McGrail.
overnight or had dinner or something.
At dinner, he's very good friends with the McGrail family.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was there. I guided him around.
Nice.
That's before he was president.
1961.
Right.
Yep.
But there was some,
When
like,
he was-
on the Jim McGrail had that website, and somewhere on there was like a letter from John Kennedy, I think when he was president, to
Yes,
to
well,
Mr.
the McGrails were
Yeah.
invited to the inauguration,
was- yeah.
and they actually went to it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Krista, I'd like to throw something in about that property. On Monday, my wife and I hiked around Horseshoe Pond. And on that short walk, we spotted a white orchid.
lady
white,
slipper.
White lady
Oh.
slipper.
Oh,
a
wow.
rare orchid.
Oh, wow.
Only found in the northeast and southern Canada.
Wow.
And a luna moth.
Take a picture of it?
He did. He
Got-
took
you got
pictures of
both.
both.
Huh? It was in our email.
We have those too. I was gonna say behind our property on Duncan's land, we see them all the time.
The
Lady,
Luna Moth?
Luna moth and the lady
The
slippers.
white lady.
right, but white lady slippers
White,
are,
yeah.
really? Wow.
Oh.
Because there's plenty.
No, they
Oh,
Plenty of
the
pink
pink
ones,
ones,
lots
yeah.
of pink ones. but
Oh.
Wow,
this is,
Yeah.
that's
And
wonderful.
And I researched it when I got home because I'd never seen one, and
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
turns out it's
We don't
fairly
want our
rare.
horses to step on them.
And there used to be a lot of the pink lady slippers growing on.
Oh, they were
along the
Gates Pond
road.
Road.
Yeah,
they're
there's
everywhere.
tons
They were
of-
thick up there
Yeah.
Are
on
they?
our hike,
Yeah,
many,
these would be
many.
right along the stone wall.
But, preserving this, as Walter had said, for its ecological value is pretty darn important.
Integrity.
I wonder, I actually wondered, we could talk about this another time, but if the trail shouldn't be moved a little ways back where it gets so close to the pond and it is so
Where's
wet.
that?
Where, like when the point where the trail gets so close to the pond
Yeah.
and it's always wet down there.
Oh,
Where the old dam is?
Well, no, I
Well,
need to go
that-
look
I
at
think
the
we
old
can't
dam.
avoid
I
that.
have-
The old dam needs love.
Yeah,
Walter will,
It isn't gonna get it.
yeah.
okay. Do we need to put anything in the CR about maintaining or repairing the dam?
It needs repair.
Is there a dam on that
It's gone, it's
property?
washed out in one part, but I
Is
don't
there
know
a
if it's,
dam on that
Well, the
property?
dam on.
Yeah,
both
that
ends
makes
of
the pond.
Of the pond, an earth dam on the
On the pond.
hill.
north side,
Yeah.
the concrete dam on the south side.
Oh, then if it's concrete, we should put something in about repairing it.
What do you think about repairing it? Just let it,
Huh?
just let it devolve?
It's a
Naturally.
natural
I
outlet.
mean, who's gonna
Essentially.
put money into that, it's just,
I would assume
I don't
us.
think there's a danger of it giving way, frankly, for a
Well,
while.
yeah, I don't think there's much water for the regulations.
But this is forever, so.
Right, so if
Like,
Right.
it's better to
needs to
have something
happen-
in there just in case.
'Cause then
Some,
they won't have a
in case,
pond.
in case somebody wants to, in case you die and leave money for repairing the dam, we have provisions.
Yeah.
Walter's plans to live forever, and so far it's working.
Well,
was gonna say,
sure,
yeah.
yeah.
Everything soon.
That'll be the least of the worries of our grandchildren, trust me. It's serious.
But yes,
We
I
got a lot
agree
bigger.
I don't
that
think it's an issue.
allowing it as a provision
If
should
you want to allow
somebody,
repair of the dam, somebody's got the money, go for it.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah, that's the thing,
State
yeah.
might give grants someday, who knows?
right, yeah.
One of us might win the lottery.
Yeah.
Do you have to buy a
In the
ticket to win?
1950s, in the 1920s, no, in the 1950s,
Yeah.
when you go up Lyman Road, maybe even our selectman might remember, but she's pretty young. You go up Lyman Road and there was a right that went down into a field. Remember that, Peg? And there were no houses there whatsoever. And we just go down there and at night, and you remember Jack Lindsay?
I do.
Yeah. He used to have us kids he was the minister. And we'd have skating parties down there, and there's kind of an island where the horseshoe comes around. There's an island here. We'd have a bonfire going, and we'd be skating, and the kids in the field would be full of cars. And I remember way down on the north end of the horseshoe, there was a duck box that Fish and Wildlife put up. And I was there standing, I don't know who I was talking, I could hear bzzz. It was a beehive. It was full of honeycomb. And I, what the heck is, because it was so cold.
I was gonna say, in the
We
winter.
opened it up, and here's all this honeycomb. Are you kidding me? Boom. And the bees were numb. And so we're eating a honeycomb. I don't know if Bob Turbo, Dave Forbes, or somebody, Billy Fields, eating honeycomb. But anyway, it was just a big natural area, and the only house up that street was the fish house.
Was that by Landry's old house? Landry?
It's the old house on the right before you get to North Road. There's a number of houses there now, but it's set right there, big house, porch out front, and the Fishers owned it. She had
Is that where Dave Pierce lived?
I'm talking early 50s that I can remember. Yeah. But it was, and then the Bennett farm, Gurdon Bennett. And,
And
yeah,
that's all there was for houses? on
that's
the
all there
road?
was.
Ours, Bowlers,
Yep,
Bennett's, Landry,
yep.
and that was it?
Oh, excuse me for
The history
Yeah,
lesson.
yeah, right?
I thought you'd be fascinated, so I just.
I was riveted.
You paint a beautiful picture.
Huh?
You paint a beautiful picture.
Yes.
I could.
It was.
Yeah, I could feel the fire. I could feel the bonfire, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have
Matter
to
of
get another
fact,
wood duck box.
The other part of the history, I was gonna tell you earlier, but I'll tell you. Where the old Boy Scout camp was, there was still a building there. It's the first time I ever kissed a girl was in that building. And that's as far as it went. But anyway, that was a long time ago.
Is that why it burned down?
Quite simply.
Did you leave your
Terry
initials?
Calandro. Terry, yeah, she's gone, so there's no, she lived in
I was gonna say, does
Texas.
Gail know about this?
Yeah, right?
Anything else you want to know? No.
All right, all right, all right, all right.
You're on this town, Walter.
Well, it is on video, yeah.
This is like the oral histories, right?
More
Yeah.
memories forever.
Yep.
No, there's no conservation commission has meetings like ours.
That's true. That's to that. These are much more interesting than other conservation commission meetings.
And that's where it stops.
Yeah.
All right. We good?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
I will be back to you with another CR.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you all.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming in.
Sure.
And, yeah, just keep us in the loop about Highland Ridge.
Yeah.
And,
Well, this was efficient. We covered so much.
I know. It worked out great that you were already coming in.
Ah.
Yeah.
Krista, could I get your email or I could
Oh, yeah. It's C Collins
Uh-huh.
at svtweb.org.
Okay, thank you.
All
I'll send
right.
you that.
Krista, what other big projects is this SVT has going now around? Any substantial ones, any?
We're doing a big orchard preservation project out in Harvard on Prospect Hill, right across from Fruitlands. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
75 acres.
Oh, great.
What else do we have? There's another 100 acres in Upton that we're working on with the town, and 25 acres in Boxborough. Those are the big ones right now.
good.
Yeah.
So it's kind of spreading out, it seems as though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Sudbury, Wayland, those are all close to build out, so this is where there's still opportunity.
I'm trying to think
Right.
of the first executive director,
Very first, Alan Morgan?
Alan Morgan.
Yeah.
He sat I was Commissioner Fisher one, he sat on my desk, he says, I want money to buy this. He didn't get it, but I mean, was his style, you know,
Yeah.
and he turned everybody off.
Yeah,
but,
I never met him.
He
but
and
I
Jerry
heard-
Burton were each other.
Oh, yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
stories about Jerry too, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. Always happy to chat.
Let's just does anybody have anything else they want to talk about?
Actually, for me, I'm doing the Earthworks Committee. I'm going to that next.
I was gonna say, we don't need Krista on
No,
this,
for
right?
her.
You don't- no.
Sorry, I didn't know.
Thank you.
Thanks, Krista, for close the meeting. Is there anything
See ya,
you guys
Krista.
want me to bring up?
What's
The
that?
Earthworks
She's
Committee
going
next
to the
week?
Earthworks
Next
meeting.
Thursday.
Okay.
Right.
And what is the issue?
She wants to know if we have anything.
You want me to bring to
Right.
them?
The meeting has been called is to discuss the bylaws where Earthworks passed over at a town meeting.
Okay.
We're hoping to do something before Margaret leaves and either get the bylaw to remove importation of any soil into town or limit it into town. So we're hoping that Earthworks will
Yeah.
giddy up and move on it
Yeah.
and do something to get it in place to avoid issues that we've had with the town.
And
Right.
that's
Still up the hill.
constitutional, you think?
Yeah.
Well,
To do that? We'll try it.
well, I know that Margaret has spoken with our town council, and they said even if we said you can't bring in dirt, that more than likely the state would say,
Yeah.
nice try,
Yes, you can.
Yeah, well, let's
Yeah.
go for it anyway,
Right.
right?
I was gonna say, I
right.
don't think we could say none, but
I think we can say,
Right,
Yeah.
limited, yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Right. So, I mean, obviously,
Because you need dirt for a
and
septic
I don't
tank.
even,
You need-
right, I was going to say Maplewood, but I don't think there's anything
well,
really to
that's the
talk about.
issue.
Like, it's just, yeah.
I think people are some
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
So we don't want implication.
No, I'm thinking like
Well, no,
repair.
because there's a problem, one
No,
bylaw.
repair,
says
yeah,
no more
one
new
amount
ones.
of
Right,
cubic
right.
feet,
It's after the
one
flat penny
bylaw
though.
says
Flat penny
Y
new,
amount of cubic
then after
feet.
that,
Right.
no more.
Jesus,
Right.
that's
Can you
quite
get on
a
the same
system you
page?
guys
Okay,
Right.
got.
yeah, okay, so
Holy
that's
Yeah,
really,
it's
okay,
gonna
so
be
I
fun.
just wanted to bring it up.
Are you
There's
It's
a
the
really
Earthworks bylaw.
Yeah,
Okay, so that was
GC.
it.
You own
Okay,
it.
I didn't know.
My
Yeah.
brother owns
Right,
it.
no
I don't
worries,
know.
not going though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
good.
should we max
Awesome.
price
Thank you for being our
Yes.
representative.
I'll be there.
You
Yep.
have to submit a
But I
bunch of
just
stuff.
wanted to ask. So that's it,
okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's,
Okay. I
Don't
do
be
have
sorry.
One quick thing. Okay, so Lawrence Holyoke mentioned that Route 62 had not been cleaned up. So we've talked about doing a special cleanup and asking the police to.
right,
provide
because
an
they
estimate.
volunteered, yeah.
In the highway department, so sometime between now and October.
Right, I mean,
Before
does
the
it,
leaves fall,
does it
maybe?
make sense to do it
Or do we just focus on
as
it next
stuff
year?
dies back? We did a fall one
We did.
during
2
COVID.
years ago.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you remember when in the fall that was?
I think it was October.
Was it, right, because it's kind of like after a lot of stuff dies back, but before everything
So
really
after
gets
Columbus
buried
Day.
with the
It was
leaves.
the first year of the pandemic, so it would be
Right.
2020.
Right,
We did one in April and one in the fall.
right. Cool, awesome.
I got something to say.
Uh-oh.
Might surprise you. I finally got off my duff today. I don't know why, at a spur of the moment, I just made that darn call. For years, I've been thinking of all our open spaces and our woodlands. And as I walk them, frankly, there's a lot of trash timber. It could use a lot of improvement. There's there's a lot of state grants and so forth, and advice and everything else to help manage forests. Harvard's way ahead of most people. You know, the rich towns down Newton and stuff, they're really moving on this and getting the grants. So I called the forester over in Boyles, Clinton, over at the site there today, and I have a meeting set up tomorrow, wait a minute, next week, and I'll let you know. This just happened, and then I run off, so I want a couple people, and if you're available, AJ or anybody, the more ears, the better. And they have grants on everything from improving forests for bird habitat, for mammal habitat, for timber quality, and I've had this vision, and it might be, Berlin could be the model community for managing our open spaces. We don't do any management, virtually no management. We did some on the piece of land up off of Coben Road one time, and that turned out good. Those woods are good right now. They've
The
recovered
Clark
good.
property, right?
Huh?
The Clark property?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, we had a lot of opposition, but the timber quality there was a beautiful pines in there. And then there's dense woodlands coming up. It's loaded with deer and coyotes and fur bearers and birds, and it's a well-managed piece of land, the best we have in town. So anyway, I'm going to do that, and what I will do is I'll send the Conservation Commission the date and time, and get back to me. I don't want to bring in 6 or 7 people. In fact, a couple in addition to me would be fine. To think it over, and then
Where is it going to be?
I'm going to go over to the office on 110 Route 70, the other side of the reservoir that goes up that way. Yeah, it's the DEM's office over there, so I'm going to meet there. But he did say that it'd be wise to maybe set a meeting apart some nights, a portion of a meeting, and come in and talk to us about different things and let us decide, see what we can do. But I would, I find it appealing enough so we might be able to recruit and engage others in the town to take part in it, So, anyway.
Awesome. Yes, so,
wanna
yeah,
do that.
definitely let us know. I think at the very least, Maddie should go.
Yeah, when I
If-
get home, I'll send you the email.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Awesome.
something we should start really working on forest management.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yep.
mean, I walked through the woods and the woods are there, but it's, I haven't, there's very few places where we would quality timber and quality habitat, and that would be good.
Right.
Yep. Agreed.
Got it?
All right.
Did you record that?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, Roger did.
Thanks, Roger.
Okay.
Anything else?
Do you want a motion to adjourn?
I do.
I will make a motion to
Oh, good, I don't have to change.
Second.
Second.
No, I beat you to it.
Third.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.